Hi, I'm Peter. Welcome to our broadcast today. We're going to talk a little bit about diets. People often ask me, what diet should I be on? Should I be eating paleo or vegetarian? What about the blood type diet? Or raw food? Or There's so many different options out there. My opinion about diets is if anybody says they have a diet that suits everybody, don't believe them. It doesn't make sense to me because we all have different needs. And so to think that there's one diet that's good for everybody just doesn't add up. Some people need more carbs or low fat or high protein or whatever. So there are two major things that we need to take into account with our diets. The first is our genetics. We all have a different mix of genes. And the second one is the climate that we live in. You've probably noticed that you tend to eat different foods in the summertime compared to the winter. That's just you intuitively knowing that you need different foods depending on whether it's hot or cold. So let's have a look at two extreme examples of both climate and genetics. The Inuit people, in their traditional culture, eat mostly animal products. They eat meat and fat and blood and all the various products from, say, a seal or a whale or caribou. They rarely eat fruit or vegetables or grains. Most of their diet is animal products, and when they're living in their traditional environment, they do well on that diet. They don't get lots of degenerative diseases like what we have in our society today. But you start giving them a standard Western diet and they get sick. On the other end of the scale, there are a number of tribes in South America where they hardly ever eat animal products. They eat fruits and vegetables and grains and nuts, and when they eat that diet, they're healthy and happy. But give them a Western diet and they get sick. Now, most of you listening to this video today probably don't live in extreme heat or cold, and you probably don't have a single genetic origin. Most of us today have a mixed set of genes and we tend to live in a more temperate climate. So, what should we eat? Listen to your body. Work out the things that make you feel better and the things that make you feel worse. Our bodies are very intelligent. Your taste will change depending on what you need. I often have people in my clinic who tell me that they crave chocolate. And I test their magnesium levels and surprise, surprise, they're usually really low in magnesium. Chocolate just happens to be one of the best sources of magnesium. So for the most part, the things you like are often the things you need, and the things you don't like are usually not good for you. For example, I've never really liked fish. I did a gene test a few years ago and found I have a gene that doesn't do well on seafood. So listen to your body and choose the things that make you feel well. The big exception to that little rule is sweet things. So sweet cravings are usually caused by a microbe called Candida that lives in your gut. Candida puts a chemical into your blood that says, go and eat sugar. So, the one piece of dietary advice that I can give you that applies to absolutely everyone is eat real food. So much of the food in our supermarkets these days has either been processed or interfered with, or it has additives that do not belong in our food. An example of processing can be things like milk, which is pasteurized and homogenized. It's no longer the same as milk that comes straight out of a cow. There are so many foods that have things like additives, preservatives, colors, flavors, emulsifiers. Things are not real food and they're not meant to be in our bodies. So you need to read ingredient labels and you need to be selective about the things you choose to eat for yourself and your family. Keep your eye out for another video. Soon I will make a video on how to read ingredient labels and the tips and traps to watch out for. Thanks for watching today.